A story that honestly really gets under your skin despite being quite short. Whispers from Room 13.
Oh, yeah, it's a fantastic piece, really packs a punch.
It really does. It taps into those, fundamental human fears and fascinations. And what we want to do today is really unpack how it uses horror elements, classic ones, to explore things we all grapple with. Curiosity, temptation.
And the consequences, right. The consequences of crossing lines maybe we shouldn't.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about how horror can reveal these universal experiences. We're going to look at how it builds that dread and what happens when the unknown suddenly
Huh.
knows your name.
And it's not just about what happens, the plot points. We really want to get into the why. Why does this story stick with you? How does that initial curiosity unravel into, well, sheer psychological torment?
Yeah, that confrontation with something truly unknown.
Precisely. It's a masterclass in creating unease, using subtle supernatural touches, and exploring that lasting impact, that psychological scar from stepping into forbidden territory. It really makes you think about boundaries.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Section 1, The Lure of the Forbidden. How does the story set the stage?
Well, right away, the setting is just drenched in atmosphere.
It really is.
Yeah.
The hotel isn't just old, it's described as a crumbling relic. You get this immediate sense of decay, of something long past its prime.
And that faded sign, barely readable under the weight of years and neglect. It's not just visual detail, is it? It speaks volumes.
No, if it feels heavy, burden, like the place itself is
Yes,
exhausted.
exactly. That language choice, crumbling relic, weight of years, it personifies the hotel. It suggests it's not just passively existing, it's actively decaying, maybe even holding on to secrets from its past.
It immediately signals this isn't your average roadside motel.
Not at all. It establishes this mood of atmospheric suspense right out of the gate. It primes you, the listener, the reader, to expect something unsettling, something out of the ordinary.
It's like the decay itself is a hint that the usual rules might not apply here. Breakdown of structure, maybe breakdown of, well, reality.
That's a great way to put it. Decay in horror often signifies that breakdown physical, but also maybe moral or spiritual. It hints at things unresolved, buried secrets. You feel that sense of unease almost physically.
And then, within this already creepy setting, we zoom in on Room 13.
Ah, yes, the heart of the mystery.
And the details are so specific, aren't they? The door isn't like the others. It's muted gray while the rest are chipped white. It stands out.
Visually isolates it immediately, an anomaly.
But it's the human reaction, or lack thereof, that really ramps up the intrigue. No one booked it. Simple statement, huge implications.
Right. Why? Why is this one room perpetually empty in what seems like a functional, if rundown, hotel? It's a void that screams for explanation.
And the staff.
Yeah.
Never spoke of it, their eyes darting away when asked. That's chilling.
It's incredibly effective, that deliberate avoidance, that shared unspoken dread among the staff. It transforms Room 13 from just an oddity into something actively forbidden, something feared.
It's not just a room. It's an object of intense curiosity and fear simultaneously.
Precisely. The staff's silence suggests a secret too terrible or maybe too dangerous to even acknowledge. And that naturally just pulls the protagonist and us in deeper. We're drawn to what's hidden, what's feared.
It's that fundamental human urge, isn't it, to uncover the secret, even if every sign points to danger.
It's a powerful psychological hook. The story uses that innate curiosity masterfully.
So we have the decaying hotel, the mysterious room, the silent staff, and then comes the explicit warning.
The clerk.
Yeah, the older woman with a pinched face. She gives the protagonist the key to room 12 right next door and then leans in.
And delivers that line.
It's locked for a reason, she says, and the delivery is key, low voice, as if the walls might hear.
Ooh, yeah. That detail about the walls possibly hearing. It cranks up the paranoia, the sense that this isn't just about a locked door, but about something pervasive, maybe even sentient, within the hotel itself.
It's not just advice, it feels like a ritual warning.
And this is where that central conflict really ignites, isn't it? The battle between caution and that consuming curiosity.
Because the warning doesn't really deter the protagonist, does it?
Quite the opposite. That vague but incredibly ominous warning, especially delivered with such palpable fear, just fuels the temptation. It's human nature, right? Tell someone not to look, not to touch.
And that's the first thing they want to do,
Yeah,
especially when it's wrapped in so much mystery.
exactly. The clerk's fear, the hushed tone, it makes the forbidden knowledge seem even more vital, more necessary to uncover. What could be so bad that it warrants this level of secrecy?
The seed of curiosity is planted, and now it's watered with fear and mystery. It starts to grow into something else.
It transforms the room into this potent symbol of a boundary that just begs to be crossed. The stage is perfectly set for the protagonist's inevitable next step and for the supernatural elements to really start manifesting.
Which brings us to section 2. The whispers begin. That inevitable next step happens pretty quickly.
The pull is too strong.
Yeah, the protagonist can't resist. The story describes them creeping toward room 13. Even the verb choice, crept, suggests stealth, transgression.
Acknowledging they shouldn't be doing this, and the environment seems to react, doesn't it?
It does. Rain battered the windows, adding to the isolation, and then the air grew colder with each step. That classic horror trope.
Classic, but incredibly effective here. That sudden, localized drop in temperature. It's not just atmospheric, it feels like a direct response to the protagonist's approach, a sign of an unseen presence.
Makes the unseen feel tangible somehow.
Yes, and the floorboards creaking like a warning. It's as if the building itself is protesting this intrusion, echoing the clerk's warning.
These aren't just random details. They're signaling a shift, aren't they? From psychological unease to something potentially physical, supernatural.
Absolutely. The story is moving from intellectual curiosity about a mystery to a direct sensory confrontation with something else. The suspense is ratcheting up because the protagonist is actively crossing into that forbidden space, and the space seems to be pushing back.
And then they reach the door, the muted gray door, and listen.
And that's when they hear it.
The whispers. Described as layered and indistinct, like a crowd speaking just out of reach. Not clear words, just sound.
And that ambiguity is key, isn't it? Indistinct sound in horror is so powerful because the mind rushes to fill the gap.
What are they saying? Who is speaking? Is it one voice or many? Friendly, hostile.
Exactly. The lack of clarity creates this deep disquiet, this creeping dread rather than immediate shock. Your own fears start projecting onto that sound. It's the sound of something just beyond comprehension.
Suggests a presence, or maybe multiple presences, crammed into that space just outside our understanding.
It pushes the boundaries of what feels possible. It's insidious. It gets under your skin because you can't quite define it.
But then,
Yeah.
it does become defined.
Mm-hmm.
Horrifyingly so.
Mm-hmm. The shift.
The whispers, which were just this ambient noise, suddenly become personal. The text says, "My name slipped through the cacophony, sharp and deliberate."
Chilling. Absolutely chilling. That is the moment the horror becomes direct, targeted.
Just changes everything.
It really does, because it means whatever's in that room isn't just a lingering psychic residue or random noise. It's aware. It knows the protagonist is there. It knows their name.
That personalization is terrifying. It shatters any sense of distance or safety.
It transforms ambient dread into an immediate psychological assault. This isn't just a haunted room. It's an intelligence, and potentially a malevolent one, actively engaging.
And right after the name is called, the physical manifestation.
The doorknob.
The doorknob twitched, a slow metallic groan. Just that single small movement is loaded with menace.
Oh, hugely. It suggests something is trying to get out, or at least acknowledging the protagonist's presence on the other side. It's not just a presence within the room anymore. It's interacting with the boundary itself.
That slow metallic groan, it makes it feel deliberate, almost agonizing, like something testing its confines.
It confirms this isn't passive. It's active, conscious, and trying to bridge the gap. This is the true onset of the supernatural horror, and the psychological impact is immediate.
Understandably, the protagonist's heart hammering, and they retreat fast.
Wouldn't you? It's undeniable proof that something dangerous resides there, and it knows you're there. The boundary has been tested, and the response is terrifying.
You'd think that would be enough, right? Proof positive, stay away.
Logically, yes, but...
But this brings us to section 3. The irresistible pull. Curiosity becomes compulsion.
Because that encounter, as terrifying as it was, also deepened the mystery exponentially.
How so?
Well, now it's not just, why is the room locked? It's, what is in there that knows my name and can make the doorknob move? The stakes are higher, the question's more personal, more urgent.
So the fear actually fuels the need for answers.
In this case, absolutely, which is why the protagonist goes straight back to the clerk the next morning, demanding answers.
And the clerk's reaction just pours gasoline on the fire, doesn't it?
Completely. Her face paled, her trembling hands. It's pure terror. She confirms it was sealed years ago.
After incidents. Plural.
Right. Incidents. That vague, ominous word again. She gives just enough information to confirm there's a dark history, but refuses to elaborate.
Which paradoxically makes it worse.
Far worse, because now the protagonist knows there's a concrete reason tied to past events, but they're denied the specifics. The unknown threat remains unknown, just bigger, more menacing.
The clerk's fear is contagious, you can feel it, but the protagonist's need to understand seems to override that fear.
It becomes an obsession, like Pandora's box. The need to know what's inside, what happened, what called their name, becomes overwhelming. The rational mind, the self-preservation instinct, is losing the battle.
And that leads to the inevitable act of transgression. The protagonist says, flat out, I couldn't resist.
The compulsion has won.
And they don't just go back to listen. They come prepared, armed with a flashlight and a crowbar from my car.
That detail is crucial. The flashlight, seeking illumination, trying to penetrate the darkness. But the crowbar...
That's about force, isn't it? Breaking in.
It signifies a deliberate, forceful breach of the boundary. No more tentative listening. This is an act of violation, a willful breaking of the seal that everyone, and perhaps even the room itself, has warned against.
It's the point of no return. They are actively choosing to cross that line, consequences be damned.
And that act, that choice, unleashes the full horror, which takes us into Section 4, unveiling the horror.
The crowbar meets the door.
And the description is perfect. I pried open the door. It gave way with a reluctant creak.
Reluctant. Even the inanimate object seems to resist.
It adds another layer of atmospheric dread, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like the room itself or the force within is fighting against this invasion. It's that final warning, the threshold groaning under the pressure.
The membrane between worlds, maybe?
Perhaps. But once it's breached, there's no going back. The protagonist is now fully exposed.
And what they find inside, it's not just dust and cobwebs. It's chaos.
Yeah, choked with dust, sure, but also the furniture was overturned, the wallpaper torn, signs of violence, of struggle.
She confirms the incidents weren't minor things. Something terrible happened here.
Something destructive. It creates this immediate visual horror. This wasn't just abandonment, it was turmoil.
And then the message. Seen too late.
Scratched right into the plaster on the far wall. Stay out.
Oh, just brutal. Direct evidence from someone who experienced whatever this is.
It's a scream from the past, isn't it? A desperate warning that confirms the danger is real, profound, and likely fatal or sanity-shattering for whoever was there before. It raises so many chilling questions. Who wrote it? When? What were they trying to keep out or keep in?
It makes the protagonist's transgression feel even more foolish, more dangerous.
And the moment that warning registers, the room responds instantly.
No more subtlety. The whispers surged, no longer faint but angry, circling me.
The shift from indistinct murmurs to overt, angry voices is terrifying. And the fact they're circling, it implies being surrounded, trapped by this auditory assault.
And the visual element comes in. Shadows moved where none should be.
Right, this is the full manifestation. It's not just sound anymore. It's visual phenomena defying physics. Amorphous entities, perhaps, made visible by the breach.
It's an overwhelming multisensory attack, the direct consequence of opening that door.
Exactly. The raw, untamed power of whatever resides in room 13 is unleashed directly upon the intruder. The gloves are off.
And the only possible reaction is flight. Slamming the door behind me. A desperate retreat.
But as we find out in Section 5, slamming the door doesn't contain it, does it? The enduring echoes.
No. That's perhaps the most chilling part. The horror follows.
The whispers followed, seeping into my dreams. That line is devastating.
It means the boundary wasn't just the door. The protagonist's own mind has been breached.
Precisely. The violation is now internal. The supernatural horror isn't confined to the physical location, it's latched onto the protagonist's psyche. Sleep offers no escape. It's become another venue for the torment.
It signifies this deep, pervasive trauma. The horror has literally gotten inside their head.
And the reaction? Checking out at dawn?
Leaving my things behind. Everything.
That detail speaks volumes about the level of terror. Abandoning all possessions, severing every tie to that place, that experience. It's a primal act of desperation.
Sacrificing identity markers just to get away.
Yeah.
It shows the sheer depth of the psychological impact. This isn't just being spooked, it's being fundamentally broken.
It's a stark consequence of the transgression. The price is everything you own, perhaps even part of yourself.
And it's not a temporary state. The story makes that painfully clear.
No quick recovery here.
Months later,
Yeah.
I still hear them. Still.
That persistence is key. This isn't PTSD in the traditional sense, maybe, but an ongoing, active haunting.
Faint, at the edge of silence, calling my name. It's always there, lurking,
That description, at the edge of silence, is brilliant. It suggests it's become part of their baseline reality, a constant presence blurring the line between the external world and their internal nightmare. It's inescapable.
And still calling their name. Still personal. Still targeted.
It reaffirms that the connection made in that hallway, solidified by opening the door, is permanent. The entity, whatever it is, hasn't forgotten them. It's an enduring, irreversible psychological scar. The horror isn't over, it's just changed form, become a chronic condition.
Which leads us to that final, perfect, haunting line.
Some doors, once opened, never truly close.
Gives me chills just thinking about it. It just lands with such weight.
It's the ultimate thesis statement of this story, isn't it? It encapsulates everything. The consequences of transgression, the permanence of certain experiences, the power of the unknown.
It's a metaphor that resonates far beyond haunted hotel rooms.
Absolutely. It speaks to any boundary, emotional, ethical, psychological, that once crossed changes you fundamentally. Some knowledge, some actions leave an indelible mark. You can't just unopen that door.
And the fact that we never really know what's in room 13.
That ambiguity is crucial. It makes the horror more potent because it remains undefined, allowing our own fears to fill the void. It's the effect that matters, the irreversible change it causes.
It's profound warning about curiosity, about respecting boundaries, about the fact that some unknowns are maybe best left unknown.
A timeless, deeply unsettling message.
So wrapping up, Whispers from Room 13. It really is a compact powerhouse of horror storytelling.
It uses those classic elements, the decaying setting, the mounting suspense, the unseen presence, the gradual reveal so effectively.
And it does it all to explore these really resonant themes. Our own curiosity, that pull towards the forbidden.
And the often devastating consequences when we give in to that pull, the psychological toll, the way confronting certain unknowns can just leave a permanent scar.
It really forces you to think.
It absolutely does. It expertly blends atmospheric suspense with sharp, supernatural horror to make us really consider human nature, our fascination with the dark, our temptation to push boundaries, and the heavy price that can sometimes follow. That lingering sense of unease, that embrace of the truly unknown. That's its lasting power.
So as you think about this story, here's something to maybe carry with you, a final thought for you, our listener. Consider this. What are the room 13s in your own life? You know, those sealed off areas, maybe forbidden thoughts, deep-seated curiosities, the boundaries you feel tempted to push against. Because, as this chilling story suggests, once opened, some doors might just change the landscape of your mind forever,
Yeah.
leaving whispers that linger right at the edge of silence.